welcome to Worship Tutorials.
.com.
Thank you, Bradford. We have new patches for the following platforms, Bradford. Helix, HX Stomp, Axe-FX III. Basically the stuff that is able to run 2 amps at the same time.
This is important.
Because we've called this thing the Match 45. This is a brainchild of yours, actually.
I was trying to create a patch on the Axe-FX to use stereo amps, and that's why it's limited to what units it's on. Because
FM3 can't do stereo, neither can Pod Go.
Neither can Pod Go.
Stereo amps, I should say.
So we've used the DC30 channel 1.
Matchless DC30.
Matchless DC30. And a Vox AC15.
And 15 plus 30?
45.
All of you math people? It's 45.
45.
Hence the name, Match 45.
There you go.
So why did you choose these 2 amps?
Well, in the midst of like all of our tinkering and whatnot, we realized that the AC15 in these units has like this more of like a beefy sound, which is really kind of interesting when you think about it.
It's got a thicker like mid-range thing.
And like when an amp is smaller, it doesn't like it pretty much. It's not going to come across drums sometimes, depending on how small an amp is. But like it reaches that point of exploding and driving and compression sooner. So when we use that with like channel 1 of the DC30, a little more chimey. Behold, for those of you who run stereo, enter into the goodness of the Matchless and the Vox together.
That's right. These 2 amps, I think they pair extremely well together.
Yes.
We've actually got, lately Bradford and I have been both of us experimenting with running stereo pedal boards into...
Well, I haven't been experimenting. I have been running stereo pedal boards.
Me too. Into modeling devices.
That's been the experiment.
And just playing with different combinations of amps to see what sounds cool. Yeah. And there's 2 combinations we've sort of stumbled on lately. One being the Matchless DC30 and the Vox AC15, which is this one.
Seems pretty obvious.
The other being, if it's not out yet, spoiler, the Mesa Boogie Lone Star and the Vox AC30. Sounds great together as well. But yeah, just like running these 2 amps together it's a really good sweet spot, and it still stays in sort of that Vox Matchless type of a thing if you want that. Rather than blending 2 different styles of amps together. Yeah. Works really well. So like we said earlier, these patches are available for Helix, Helix Native, and Helix LT, of course, as well. Line 6 HX Stomp, and the Axe-FX III. So if you're using like Helix or Axe-FX as an all-in-one, of course we've done the thing that we do to all of our presets where you get all kinds of drives and delay and reverb and modulation options. Helix and Axe-FX both have snapshots and scenes preset up for you, or you can run them sort of in stomp box mode, or individual effects mode if that's how you like to do it. The Line 6 patches include our own custom IRs that we make in-house. One of them from our Matchless cab with a G12 H30, a Matchless Celestian sort of special edition speaker, and the other is from the mid-60s Alnico Silver speaker that we have, which is a beautiful sounding speaker.
Yes.
The Fractal stuff is all stock, so you don't need any third-party
but
IRs
it's still
for that.
The similar speakers,
but it's got that same vibe.
Same speakers, actually, aren't they?
Yeah. And so, if you're using HX Stomp, because there are 2 amp blocks and 2 IR blocks in there to retain all that stereo imaging, you don't get like as many effects in the main preset. We have included the effects preset that gives you everything else from the Helix patch in it. But this is really a perfect patch for you if you want this Voxy thing a little bigger, thicker sounding, and you're using it with a board. Yeah. It's exactly what you need. It's set up all ready to run stereo and output in stereo and that kind of thing. You can just turn off. What do we have in there? The compressor.
The compressor, the EQ.
The EQ. You can keep that on if you want.
And then the plate or the hall.
There's a plate reverb and there's an 808.
Oh, there's an 808.
Yeah. So you can sub in different effects for that, whatever fits your needs best for Stomp.
But if you like using the Stomp for like amps and some effects, like just to put a bow on what Brian's saying, you won't really be able to get much mileage out of, just because
you can get like
it's
3
big.
extra effects besides the amp.
And it depends on what you use it for too. Like did the dynamic hall fit?
You could put the dynamic hall in, but you had to take something else out.
Yeah, and the EQ, we think it's pretty important.
Yeah, you can get by without it.
But you could get by without it, and maybe, you know, if you're playing at a church or wherever, I could throw an EQ on, and maybe that could kind of make up for it. But the goal with our patches always is like almost nothing needs to be done.
Yeah, at the board, just set it flat, no compression, that kind of thing.
But you know, when you're running out of room with just 2 amps and 2 IRs, you know there's some goodness in there.
That's right. That's good stuff. Links below in this video to download these patches for the hardware that you have, if you have the right stuff. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Hey, subscribe if you haven't already.
Please.
Do it now.
Please.
This is the moment that you came here for, really, to subscribe to the channel.
Oh.
And now that I've sensed that you've done it, so we thank you for it. Yeah. We'll see you in the next one. Yeah. Bye-bye.